Welcome to Crimson Ed Talks. I'm your host FZ, and joining me today is Arria Lahka, a Brown University alum and the current director of Crimson Capstone. I'm so excited to dive in this conversation today. First, I want to mention that our Crimson students have achieved tremendous results over the past several admission cycles. This year, we've got over 250 Ivy League offers, close to 40 Stanford offers, and over 3,500 offers to many of the other world's best universities. And Crimson students really stand out in their application journey for a variety of reasons. Arya, I want to first give the floor to you because you've been an Ivy League alum and you work alongside these students. What does it take to get into an Ivy League today?
The schools in the Ivy League are notoriously difficult to get into, even more so in the last couple of years. Harvard and Princeton, for example, have acceptance rates as low as 3.19%. So beyond grades and standardized tests, here are three things that elevate an application. The first is essays, the second is extracurriculars, and third is capstone projects. So this is a broad explanation of what makes Crimson students so successful. Most Ivy Leagues are looking for a well-rounded class of students. Strong academics is a prerequisite for every single Ivy. So once a student has that high GPA and excellent test scores, then they can start to think about what Ivy League is the best fit for them and their goals. In these three areas, a student can showcase their personality, their passions, and what they see as their future career. Schools like Brown, Yale, and Cornell want to make sure there's someone who can thrive on campus during their 4 years and then off campus after graduation.
I 100% agree. I mean, each year, if you look at the applicant pool, you will see that there are a bunch of students who, participate literally everything, but unfortunately, they're not really shining, right, at anything. So while these, exceptional credentials won't hurt the candidates in the application process, we actually find that these Ivy League colleges, they're not necessarily looking for the best or the perfect students. You mentioned three very important components, but I want to focus on the last one today, the capstone projects. Can you describe what this is and the role it plays in the college admissions process?
So capstone projects are actually a really important part of the application. And I would argue the way that a student can actually make their application shine or stand out a little bit more. So a capstone project is a self-driven project with tangible real-world impact. Students who have capstone projects are usually identifying issues in their communities and designing novel solutions through creating projects like nonprofits or documentaries. These capstone projects are usually related to the student's interests and academics. So essentially, a capstone project is a way for a student to turn their learning into action. Capstone projects are important to applications because universities are looking for evidence of students who are committed to creating a positive change in their communities.
That's awesome. I couldn't agree more, really. Passion and real world impact, building community, etc. I think these are some of the key qualities that admission officers are looking for these days. I really can't wait to talk about this more in future episodes. And I just want to quickly add one thing about the importance of researching future colleges. Even just looking at the 8 Ivy League institutions, while they all have very similar, objectives or to an extent, similar processes or selection criterias. Their cultures, their learning styles, their student body, the population are definitely not all the same. Brown in particular is quite different, right? Like a lot of my students, are just so crazy about Brown. They love the open curriculum, they love a lot of those very interesting elements. So, given that you went to Brown, could you tell us a little bit more about the culture at Brown, and it might not be a fit for every single student?
The culture at Brown is really to learn and explore without worrying about grades. And there's also a lot of focus on experiential learning as well. Brown is really famous for its SNC system, which means satisfactory no credit. And this allows students to take any number of courses without a letter grade. The open curriculum is flexible and allows students to define their own educational path And because there are no general requirements, it's really easy to double major, like I did. So this won't be a fit for every student. The open curriculum flexibility can result in students only taking a few courses in a few departments. This could impact your job options immediately after university. Of course, there are many advising systems at Brown to guide students through this, but ultimately, you are the one making the decision for yourself.
Awesome. Thanks for that insights, Brown. My final question, when should students begin this journey, getting themselves ready for an Ivy League?
As early as possible. So by starting early, students will get the most out of their high school years. They'll start developing college level skills, boost up their academics amid many competing priorities, which involves academic, extracurricular, and more. So getting started early is the best advice.
I couldn't agree more. I think a lot of these students today are feeling, a bit of the pressure. Definitely don't leave things till last minute. Try to spread them out. A lot of students can, start exploring things in their freshman year of high school, even earlier. But of course, pick a point that works for you the best. And I guess good luck with your application. And thank you, Arya, for chatting with us today. We'll have you back soon.